What is going on, everybody out there in the YouTube trucking community? Sean Cahalan, Christian Brother Trucker, coming at you again with another video today. And today is going to be a hodgepodge of different stuff. Random thoughts. So I'm currently in Houston delivering a load of onions, my second drop. My first drop was in Dallas, Fort Worth. But the second drop was in downtown Houston. So I had to fight a little bit of traffic to get in here this morning, and getting back into the dock was a little tricky, but such is life with a reefer driver, right? I get to come into these downtown market areas and deliver, and weird hours and tight docking situations. Oh, fun times, right? So I'm starting to get used to the reefer noise and the truck idling at the same time. What tends to happen with that is the undulation of the harmonics on the reefer unit versus the truck. If you have the RPMs a little bit off, it'll pulsate in the cab. And believe it or not, when you put earplugs in, it doesn't help. It just sometimes makes it worse. So been trying to adapt to that constant noise. I hope I don't get dependent on it, because if I go and do something else, like go over to flatbedding instead, yeah. So I fueled up at Love's in Houston this morning, and this is just a random opinion, y'all. I'll explain what happened this morning. So I go in, do a number 2, and I sit down, and this dude is playing music on his phone. Loud music. And it's this chick singing, "I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, blah, blah, blah." And, you know, Love's normally plays background music anyway. So you've got this country song, love song, playing on the Love's radio. And then this dude's listening to this other song in the middle of the bathroom, right? And so I'm sitting there doing my number 2, doing my business, and I'm like listening to all this contrasting music, and he's singing out loud to his music on his phone. I'm like, dude, really? What do you think, you're at home in your own personal bathroom just singing to yourself? I mean, come on, dude. So, you know, I get done, I open up the door and I come out, and the guy is standing in front of the sink with his shirt off, with soap all over the top of his body. He's like taking a shower in the sink in the truck stop bathroom. Y'all, I don't know what people are thinking. I really don't. Like, you're gonna treat a public bathroom like it's your own personal bathroom at home, where you're singing to yourself and you're taking a shower in the sink. I'm just blown away, y'all. I don't even know. Like, if you need to take a shower, take a shower. Go into the shower room, play your music, but do it in private. I mean, come on, man. It's almost as bad as the guy that was, I made a video a long time ago and told the story about a guy that was watching porn on his phone up in his passenger seat of his truck, and I could see what he was watching on his phone, and I was like, dude, some people are just weird. Just weird. That's all I got to say about that. So, I've been watching YouTube videos because, you know, I have a lot of time on my hands out here, and I don't have, you know, I just stream through videos, watch stuff. I'm coming across a lot of these leasing videos where brand new drivers are coming through school and they're getting into lease trucks with little to no experience. Now, you know, I did that when I first came into trucking as well. So, you know, I'm not going to say that I'm better than anybody else. I've made the same mistakes, learning what I needed to learn. But I think this is worth mentioning for all of you guys out there that are coming in the trucking and think that you're going to, quote unquote, own your own business and become a lease operator. Wake up. Please, wake up. just wake up, seriously. Like, and I can't believe that these companies allow drivers to do things like this. It just blows my mind, okay? So first of all, and there's a whole host of problems with this. And I will cover some of my thoughts about the problems. First off, with these big mega fleets that allow drivers to do this, it is predatory. Why do I say it's predatory? Well, because you have no idea the costs involved with running a truck. All the costs that are involved with keeping the truck on the road, keeping it maintained, keeping it rolling, and making the money. Second of all, the amount of APR, that's just the percentage that you're going to pay in a lease, your payments that you're going to pay for this truck, is 20%. That is aggressive. So if you go into a bank and you go and buy a personal vehicle, you're anywhere from 3.99 to 6.9 to 9.9% financing on a personal vehicle, right? If you were to go and put a down payment down on a truck, you would probably get anywhere from 9.9 to 12.9, depending on if you have good credit. 20% APR on these lease programs. And, a lot of people are going to say, well, it's not a loan. Okay, I get that. But educate yourself before you wreck yourself, and before you wreck your future by signing something that you shouldn't be signing. Okay? Second of all, who in their right mind thinks that, oh, I have 6 months experience, I think I want to run my own truck? Y'all, there are people that go into business that have a lot of experience in the field that they're in that fail. Okay? Why is it that truck drivers think all I have to do is hold the steering wheel and drive down the road and I'll make money? Like, no experience whatsoever. And then they wonder why, the payments are so high, the insurance payments are so high, and they can't figure out how to manage their fuel costs. They can't manage anything else. And then let's go after this thought of people thinking that I'm going to run my own business. Okay, let's look at that statement for a minute. If you run your own business, if you're your own boss, that means that you're free to do whatever you want. That means that you have to go out and get your own loads. That means that you have to call the customers. That means that you have to arrange to haul the freight. And then you have to go and get paid for it. Okay. In a lease program, your name does not go on the truck. Whose name goes on the truck? Oh, that's right. The mega fleet that you drive for. Their name, their DOT number, their insurance, everything. It's all theirs. Their fleet card for fuel. They tell you where to go get your maintenance done. They give you a maintenance program that you have to go through, and you have to keep up with their maintenance schedule. And on that lease agreement, if you look at the title of a truck that you're buying, leasing, lease to purchase, whatever the case may be, if you look at the title that is held on that truck, your name is nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. So how are you a lease to purchase operator, owner-operator, business owner, whatever the case may be? Now, I get this. A lot of this is semantics. A lot of this is like... But I just recently watched a video of a guy talking about a lease with Western Express, and he was saying how he's his own boss and he's running his own... You are not running your own business, dude. Cut it out, please. You're not. Okay? You're doing what the box tells you to do. You're running the loads that they tell you to load, or that they give you, that they furnish for you. And so all the options that you have are furnished through this lease, right? They tell you where to pick up your loads. They tell you where to fuel. They tell you where to get the truck maintenance done. They tell you where to do this. They tell you where to do that. And when you look at the truck payments that you're making, and you look at the amount of money that you're not making, wake up, people, please. Like, before you end up going out there and figuring things out the hard way. Because I'll guarantee you what's going to happen is you're going to get your happy little butt in that driver's seat, and they're going to make you think that things are going to go well for you in the first few months. Because what they do is they say, don't make a truck payment in your first 90 days. So you get a couple of settlements, and those settlement numbers will usually be fairly high within your first couple of settlements. With me, back in 2008, 2009, somewhere in there, I did a lease with CR England, and I never made money. So I made one paycheck, a settlement check that was $1,400, but I ran 4,400 miles in order to get that. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that was so many years ago. Well, okay, let's adjust for today's inflation rates, right? So today, by today's standards, that would probably be about $1,800, whatever the case may be. The thing about it is, though, is when you get a settlement on a lease, you have to hold out taxes. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if you make $1,800, they don't hold back taxes because you're a 1099. Well, that means that when you go and see the tax man at the end of the year with your little $80,000 for the year that you made, or $100,000, and then you find out that you owe 18% tax on top of that, then, you know, okay. So, wake up. That's all I'm going to say, is think about this before you sit there and go, ask yourself this question. Are you qualified? How much experience do you have? Do you really know what you're doing? Are you really good at operating the truck? Are you efficient with your time? Are you able to handle the load? And I don't mean just the load that you're hauling on your truck. I'm talking about the workload of, I got to keep the wheels turning on this truck, otherwise I don't make any money, because that lease payment is due every single week, and they don't care if that truck is broke down. They don't care that they don't care, right? So I've lived it, people. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's so not worth it. Oh, so please, if you're new to trucking, get that idea out of your head. Please. Don't even think about leasing a truck until you get at least minimum 1 year experience. And then educate yourself about leasing and the lease programs and how much they pay and how much your expenses are going to be, because your expenses will eat you alive. 100% guaranteed. Then what happens is when you get to the end of the lease, let's say that you do a 3-year truck lease, right? You're putting 120,000 miles a year on a truck. So by the end of the lease, the truck's got about 360,000. Well, now you're going to owe the balloon payment, and then you add up what you've paid on the truck already. Do the math before you even think about doing any of this stuff. And ask yourself, well, is it fair that I'm paying 20% APR on this lease for 3 years and then end up having to pay off a big old balloon payment at the end of it? No, it's not fair. It's ridiculous. I've done the math many times. So if you don't do the math, you're not going to realize how bad you're going to get nailed. And trust me, you're going to get nailed. But what's going to happen is you're going to get out there on this naive hype that, oh, you're your own boss and you're an owner operator and you're this and you're that. And then 6 months into it, you're going to go, I'm broke, and I'm still broke, and I'm still broke, and I'm still broke. And then you disappear off of YouTube because, you know, I've seen plenty of YouTube videos where either a person puts up a whole bunch of videos about how good things are, how good things are going, and then they disappear, or they post up a video saying how bad it is and how bad they're being screwed over. So, wake up, do your research, and think about, you know, are you qualified? And should these companies be allowed to put unqualified drivers in a lease truck knowing what they know. They know you're not going to make it. I've had people from many companies tell me, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You know, because even though I did it with CR England, I thought, well, maybe if I do a lease program with this company or that company. I've had too many people tell me, no, you're going to go broke, you're going to go bankrupt. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. So, you know, a lot of people will say, well, don't listen to the naysayers and the ones that say that you can't succeed. You can't will or wish your way into making money when something is set up for you to fail. And at the end of the day, what happens is the leasing company makes money and the company that you're driving for makes money. The only one that doesn't make money is you, because you're holding the bag and you're paying all the expenses to keep that truck on the road. And believe me when I say you don't get any favors by these companies at all. Anyway, moving on from that point. About 3 weeks in on my job here at Doug Andrews Distributing, and pretty happy. I'm trying to adjust to the reefer. I just, you know, if you've watched any of my old videos that I posted up talking about reefer unit, there's a lot about it that I don't like. But I'm a very active person, and I like to be on the go all the time. And all you reefer drivers out there know, you show up early, and you wait, and then you wait, and then you wait some more, and then you wait some more. 5 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. Yeah. Rough. Let me just say that. So, you know, if I do decide to do something else, I'm going to do it with Doug Andrews Distributing, because they have, you know, flatbed, heavy haul, grain. I could go do other stuff. They also have a Fleet 6, which is heavy haul reefer. I might try that, because a lot of that is drop and hook. So, I don't know. I have options, which, you know, I like options. But either way, I'm not going to do anything until next spring. So, I'm going to give it my best shot. And maybe I might end up coming around to liking reefer unit eventually. I don't know. Anyway, so what else do I want to talk about? Crazy stuff. Let's see. I don't really have a whole lot other to talk about other than just crazy people out there thinking that they could be a lease operator and thinking they're going to do okay because they listen to the hype with these companies that tell them that they could be a owner operator and run your own business. Let's be clear, you're not running anything. You're just holding a steering wheel. They're running your business. What do I mean by that? Well, do some research. That's all I'm going to say. If all you're doing is driving the truck, you're not running a business. They're doing the accounts receivable, they're doing the billing, they're doing the dispatching, they're doing safety, they're doing all that stuff for you. You're not doing anything but driving the truck. Just a glorified company driver. Yep, I said it. But look, I've done it, okay? I've been a company driver, I've been a lease operator, I've been a lease purchase operator, I've been an owner operator. Yeah, I did. I had my own truck with a partner, and I had a flatbed. And back in 2008, I ran a flatbed company for 9 months with my own authority. Did the whole thing all on my own. Okay? No. That's all I'm going to say. No. Maybe if rates come back around to $3.50, $4 a mile, then you might be able to make it. But when the market goes and gets into these dips like they are in right now, it's a good time to buy trucks if you're going to sit on it for a long time. You know, if you could pick up a truck for 20 grand right now and wait for the market to come back up before you start hauling freight again. But yeah, you got to know when to get out, and you got to know when to purchase, and you got to know when. Timing is very important in this industry. And right now, it's not a good time. It's not a good time to be a lease operator, because then you're subject to people who say, well, I get paid flat rate by the mile. And it's like, yeah, but you're still subject to the market volumes. The volumes are down, you're going to be taking bad loads, and you're going to be a lot of waiting around in between loads. And trust me, some of the loads that they set you up with when the markets are down, whew, yeah, they're not good. So, yeah, I guess if you're one of those drivers that's going to be in a truck stop taking a shower in the sink at the Love's restroom, go take a shower in the shower room. That was just odd. So, yeah. Oh, that's right. Funny story. I did have something happen the other day. So I'm driving along, and I noticed in my rear view mirror that my yellow light on my reefer unit's on. So I pull over at the next exit. I got off the road. I didn't pull over on the shoulder. Hint, hint. If you watched my last video, you know what I'm talking about. I got off the interstate, pulled over on a nice area where I could pull off the road and check my reefer unit. I had fuel everywhere, all over the back of my truck, all over the front of the reefer unit, and it was just pouring out of the bottom of the reefer cabinet. So I'm like, what's going on? And it was sitting there trying to start and run. And so I flipped it off and opened up the cabinet, and there's just fuel everywhere. And I'm like, well, obviously I blew a fuel line or something weird's going on. So I look at the bottom of the cabinet, and there's the fuel filter sitting down there with the fuel seal next to it, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay. So then it took me a while to figure out where it screws in, because it screws in way up high. And it's not next to the motor or connected to the motor anywhere, so I had to find out where it screwed in. So I put the seal back on the filter and screwed it back on, and I took my belt off and I wrapped it around and I tightened it up real tight, and I called Breakdown and I said, how do I prime this system to get it back running again? And so they walked me through how to prime it up, how to get it going. And so I primed it and got it fired back up. It hasn't given me problems ever since. But yeah, fuel filter spun off. I was like, wow, how does that happen? Crazy times. So now I got to go get a truck washer. As soon as I know where I'm going next on this load, I'm going to try to get into a Blue Beacon and get all that diesel gunk and stuff all sprayed off and get a truck wash. I was pulled over and back on the road again in 17 minutes. I checked the time on the tablet there. So yeah, it's good to be mechanically inclined, where you could do simple stuff like that. I'm just like, well, no sense calling road breakdown if I can just spin the filter back on and get it fired back up. So it worked out pretty good. All right, well, I guess that's all I have. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share. And as always, thanks for watching, and God bless you all.